Hello, hello, hello. OMG. Welcome back to my channel. So excited you are here. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. I appreciate you. It's Jody Dunn. I'm coming at you with a new weekly video, and we are going to be working outside today. If you are new and you just found me, so happy that you are here. Would you please say hello to me and let me know you are new right down in the comments? I would love to welcome you and say hello to you. And if you're already subscribed, thank you so much for coming back to another video. I appreciate you. Leave me a hello in the comments so I can say hi to you as well. So my focus this week is to get the shade garden transformed. As you can see, I have a lot of cleanup that needs to happen. So I'm getting all of the old leaves picked up. You probably can't tell from this angle, but there's a little fence there. You might be able to see it. So anyways, I'm just using my hand rakes to do this. I know a lot of people love to use leaf blowers. They think it's easier. I just personally don't. I personally find it easier just to rake it with the rake or my hand rakes. So that's what I'm doing. I have perennials that I planted in this bed last year that I know are going to have to be moved around. Some of them I just stuck in the ground just to get them in the ground before we had our frost. And I know I'm going to have to move them around. And then, of course, I'll want to add a little bit of color with some annuals. We had more rain this week, but not quite like last week where it rained basically every dang day. We did get up to 70 degrees one day, but most days were still in the low 50s. So not quite warming up yet in Michigan, which is it's a little bit odd this year. We're almost the end of May. Man, by the time you see this, it might already be June. Anyways, so of course I'm wearing my jacket because it's dang cold, but I got to get out here and get this done. What is happening in your world this week? Are you working on any fun projects? Are you doing any yard work? Is it warming up in your area? Let me know down in the comments. Feel free to share anything that you would like to. I would love to hear it. I had a comment on last week's video of somebody saying they wish they could send me a picture of their garden. And just an FYI, my email is always listed down in the description box. And I think my Instagram is too. Feel free anytime you would like to send me a picture of your garden or gardens on Instagram or in my email. I would absolutely love to see them. Hi to my friend Denise, if she's watching. She has sent me some gorgeous pictures of her garden. I love seeing it. It gives me inspiration and I just really honestly just love seeing how everybody else does their gardens because, I'm quite into gardening these days. So always feel free to share any spot that you would like to. I would love to see it. We had quite an exciting week this week. The girls are kind of ramping up end of year things. They don't actually get out of school until almost the middle of June this year, which seems super late. I think maybe June 12th is their last day. But anyways, I went to an award ceremony this week for Donna Jean. She received like 4 different awards, but one of them was AB Honor Roll for the whole year. I'm so proud of her. And then I'm going to insert a clip to show you because I'm just so excited and so proud. I set my phone up, not realizing that she would not be in frame. So you're not going to see my Viv, but it was just so dang exciting that I have to share it with you.
But I think that from the work we put in, from these different stages that these 3 candidates have gone through, I think we have picked our drum major, and it's going to be a great drum major for next year. And so I would like to congratulate Miss Viviana Dunn.
Oh my goodness. My Viv went out for drum major this year, and there were 3 candidates. We didn't know. I recorded the whole speech that the band director gave, which was like 3 minutes long. Obviously, I didn't include that. But he took the 3 candidates out 2 minutes before making the speech to select the drum major. So we had no idea. It's filmed in the wrong direction for YouTube. But anyways, it was so exciting to see how excited her whole grade was, the whole band was there. I wish I would have recorded it, but it was so dang emotional. There was probably a group of 20 kids that rushed her and were hugging her and congratulating her. I was crying because I was an emotional mess. I was so excited for her. So anyways, she was selected to be the drum major for next year. Well, she'll be drum major in the marching band for her junior and her senior year. So any of y'all band parents will probably understand this more than non-band parents, but it was pretty darn cool. So very exciting week with both of my girls. All right, so I think I got the cleanup done that I wanted to get done for the most part. So now I'm going to just kind of look at this garden a little bit and figure out where I need to move things around, because I definitely need to move some things around. This is a Sum and Substance, which I knew I was just putting it right there in the front as a holding spot. It also says it needs a little bit of sun. So this area through here gets some sun. The rest of it doesn't get much sun at all. So I think I might, the plan is my husband is going to move this rock. We're going to leave this one here. It's way too big. So we're going to move this rock. I want to move that somewhere maybe in the middle. And if I move this one can get moved over. This has to just slightly, because I'm not sure. I got to look it up and see how much bigger that's going to get, because it's only the second year I planted it. And I bought it as, you know, like a little 1 quart, I think, or 1 gallon pot. This is Big Daddy. I'm thinking of moving him more back towards the middle here, because I need to move these astilbes. So I grew I got 8 bare root of astilbe last year, I think it was. One of them didn't make it. I planted 3 back here, doing the experiment to see how they would do in shade versus sun. I'll show you the ones that are in more sun. This one has barely come up. This one's looking decent, but it's still pretty small. And I don't know what that is. I got to scan it on the app before I pull it out. And I had one more over here that just, I see nothing. There is nothing anywhere. It just didn't come up. So I'm going to move these and take these out of the back row, because they obviously do not love it back here. And maybe move them. They do get some sun up here, so maybe move them up here. So I'm going to be moving around these hostas, trying to figure out where I want them all to go. I might leave my heuchera there. I haven't decided. And then I'm going to plant I have some begonias to plant in here. Let's take a look at the astilbe that are in a different spot than these. All right, I have 3 astilbe down here. Can you see how big those are? They were actually planted. I had them way back there, and I moved all of the plants I had back there because we were getting trees cut down, and I just put them in a holding spot. Oh, look at these ones, got little flowers. The little pink flowers. Again, I just grew them from bare root last year, so it's only their 2nd year in the ground. I think they're doing pretty darn good, and I'm not going to keep them in this spot. I just put them here because that's where I had space to move them. But I did put 2 over here as an experiment, because I knew these would get more sun than my shade bed over there. This one doing pretty darn good. I either did flower or it's getting ready to get flowers. I ordered a mixed variety, so I don't even know what color any of the flowers are. So that one is a lot bigger than the other two over there. And then this one is not that big. So that one, you know, it could also be, it's only their second year. They just don't have a large root system yet. But anyways, I'm going to move. The ones that are getting sun are doing far better than the ones that are in shade, even though they are apparently a shade-loving plant. I think they probably would do great in a shaded area if you had a warmer climate than me, and just the sun was closer to you. I'm in Michigan, so things that say they love shade seem to do better for me when they're getting at least some sun. These are my hosta that I started from bare root last year. This is a stained glass hosta. I can't wait for this to get big, but it's only, again, I just started at bare root last year. And then this one is like a raspberry. I always want to call it Raspberry Sunday, but I know that's not it. Anyways, they're both coming up, but they are quite small. So probably take a couple more years to grow. And can you see how big this Sun King Aurelia is already? It gets sun. So it's pretty big. That's why I moved the other one in the front where I will get some morning sun. So, all right, I'm going to figure out this bed and we'll come back and do some moving around and planting. My husband got home from work, and so I said, hey, do you want to try to move that rock for me? So he got out the furniture dolly, and we're going to see if he can move that rock. All right, it's the next morning, and the rock moving did not go well. That rock is way heavier and way bigger. So he moved it a little bit. It's out of the spot it was in, but now it's kind of even more in the way. So I'm just going to do what I can do, and we'll have to figure that rock out later. So I'm just going to be moving some things around. Some of these perennials, well, they're mainly hostas in here. I'm going to be moving them around because they're not in good spots. Like I said, I planted several in here last year, knowing that I would have to move them, but I got them closer towards the end of the year, and I had this bed filled with a lot of impatiens that got pretty big for the most part. But so now I'm going to move things around, and this is actually so fun for me. I mean, doing all the hard work is not necessarily super fun because gardening is a lot of hard work. But just moving things around and placing them in different spots and getting a vision of where I want everything, so dang fun. This bed has a ton of roots, so I'm running into roots. My favorite tool is this shovel that I'm using, which is the Root Slayer. I'll link it down in the description box. Usually, I can just shove that thing right into the ground and it'll break apart the roots. But that one particular root that I just ran into was very large, so I did have to get out some cutters and cut it. Now, I anticipate most of these hostas will come up pretty easily, which Big Daddy came up very easily because it's only been in the ground since like last late summer. Can you hear that? That's Flash snoring. He's laying next to me while I edit and snoring away. Oh my gosh, that cat. So anyways, back to the hosta. I don't know if you could see, but I did pull out the tape measure because sometimes I'm not great at eyeballing how far of a distance. I'm much better at it now than I used to be. But anyways, Big Daddy gets about a 3-foot spread. So I wanted to make sure it had enough room from the wall, and it did. So I'm going to take Sum and Substance, which is this one can get like 5 feet in spread. OMG. So I'll probably have to move things around again, but it'll definitely be fine for this year. We'll see what this baby looks like next year. And I am going to move Sum and Substance where Big Daddy was. I hope I'm not repeating myself because I'm editing it over multiple days. So the voiceover's over multiple days. But I don't know if you can tell, I'm not touching the root ball at all. I don't touch the root ball pretty much of anything, even the annuals that I plant, unless it's very, very root bound. So I left all of the dirt in place that I pulled up along with the roots. I don't even know what these roots look like because I didn't look at them. I just want to disturb it as little as possible so it transplants as easily as possible into its new spot. So that's what I do. That's what I'm doing for any of these. That's what I did when I did the front garden bed, when I moved some things around. I just left all the dirt intact, all the root ball intact, and just moved it. So I had a couple of comments last time, like, I'm scared to move things, and I totally get that. But if you can see, I just go a few inches outside of where the plant is growing and just kind of go in a circle until I can feel it coming up. This is the astilbe. That's very small. Anything you see me picking off is like leaves or just debris. Look at how small this one is. But she's got a fighting chance. So I just pull up all the dirt and just move them around. And I did move the heuchera, as you can see. And I'm going to put the 2 astilbes right behind the heuchera. They'll get more sun up here in front, so hopefully they'll grow a little bit better. I do have a couple of extremely large tree roots growing through this bed from some of my oaks in the back that I simply cannot cut out or plant. So I do have to kind of work around that a little bit. What you see me reaching in the bucket for is compost. So anytime I plant something, I always add some compost just to amend my soil because I have clay soil. And it gives the plant also some nutrients, which I'm sure they appreciate because they are being transplanted. This is my season in the sun hosta, which is also going to get very big. I chose a lot of big hostas, so I'm moving this one as well. I like this one because it's almost like a lime green, and it seems to grow a little bit more upright than some of the ones that grow lower to the ground. The hubs came to see what I was doing. Do you think that you could just move that rock back? So then we got into a rock moving project. Now, probably not the best thing for me to be helping with this because if you're part of my membership, you're going to see on Thursday's video where I'm sharing my health journey. I hurt my lower back, so I've been kind of nursing that and doing some exercises to help with it and strengthen it. But as you can see at this point, he got it this far, and it was not easy at all. You're going to see me help him with this rock in a second, and all I can say is I am so grateful I have been doing some strength training because I don't know that I would have been able to help him had I not. Not that I'm very strong yet, because I'm not, but anyways, this was a big, big job. I said, can we just roll it off by pushing it? But it's like getting stuck on the dolly, so that was not working. What about just trying to lift this up and letting it, will it maybe roll then? Forgot to give you a warning that hopefully, he talks quiet, but he did swear. He would not have been able to lift that dolly by himself. And I don't know that I would have been able to lift that dolly. Well, I mean, I certainly wouldn't have been able to lift that dolly by myself. No way. But I did feel like I helped there. And this is a huge, heavy, heavy rock. Not great for my back issue, but I did feel stronger. So that's a great accomplishment for me. And that was it. We spent way too much time trying to move this dang thing. And so it's staying here until we can get some help. It just needs to go a little bit further. The ground was too wet and it just kept sliding. So anyways, that's where it's staying for now. All right, that was something. It's not in place yet. We got to get help. Oh my God, I don't even know how we got it that far. You can see what it did to the dirt because of how heavy it was and the ground's wet. So anyways, I got to fix this, but that's out. So that gives me room over here, which is nice. So what I did was I moved the heuchera there and baby astilbe and medium astilbe there. So hopefully those can just establish there. I moved Big Daddy hosta back there, some in substance there, and season in the sun hosta there. I think what I'm going to do over here is, because these are already running right into each other, this is a sunrise. Ugh, I forgot what it's called. And this is an Old Glory. This might be my favorite hosta. Oh my gosh, it's so gorgeous. I think I'm going to flip-flop them. So, because this one is going to get, this is a pretty small hosta. And this one, I would say, is halfway maybe to its size. So I think if I flip them, that will look better and give room. And then I'm thinking about transplanting and putting... All right, it is after dinner. I already dug up the hosta there, rainforest sunset, there. I think is the small one. Smaller ones. And then I just dug up the Old Glory. I am gonna take a break it right into the hole that I dug up the figure out dinner, and then smaller one, putting some compost in and planting that. I literally love this particular hosta. It is so pretty. It's probably too close to the fence, so I might have to move it again next year. But anyways, it'll look better for now and give it a little bit room. It'll grow some this season. And then I'll put the smaller one right in its spot. And then we're going to go back to the backyard and dig up some hosta from there and transplant them in this bed. Okay, I think I'm going to take that hosta right there because I see a nice natural split to make it two. And all these hosta right here always get eaten by the deer and the rabbit. Eventually, once I decide that I want to keep some things back here, I'll have to spray if I want to keep them going, but they don't typically. Now these ones back here definitely take a little bit more, but really not that much more work to get them up, just because they've been growing for many, many years. But it almost looks like, I would say, a volunteer started growing next to it, but I don't even know if that's possible. Of course it is possible, but these usually get eaten before they even flower for the hosta to drop its seeds, which then a volunteer could start. But I don't know, maybe one or two of them flowered. All right, so as I probably already said, keep all the dirt around in place, but this has a bunch of leaves in here that I'm going to clean out. And Lots of new growth happening. I really could split this. I could split this right here or this way, really. I think got a lot of new growth coming in through the middle here. Okay, I'm gonna split it this way. So can you even see, was my head right in the way? I'm gonna split it right down the middle here. So one will be much bigger than the other side, but there's a lot of new shoots coming up in the middle this way, so don't be scared. Just stick your shovel right in and press down. This is my second ever hosta that I've split. The other one is great. Look at that. Let me try again here. Here we go. Hostas are, and splitting super hardy anyways. Any perennial so it's pretty much the same. I mean, hopefully once my astilbe get big enough, I'll be able to split those. Hosta and one, I don't know, maybe even the heucheras I can split. I'm not sure. I'm not an expert at splitting perennials. I just started doing that last year. Like I said, this is only my second ever hosta, but you can pretty much do that to any. I have a bearded iris that I need to split. I meant to do it last year after it flowered, and I forgot. It's massive, and I need to split. I got to do it this year. Well, not only did I forget, but I'm scared. That's just, I feel like anybody that's newer to gardening gets a little nervous about things like that, but it's fine. The plants actually will thrive more when you do that. That bearded iris is so dang big. So I'm definitely going to do that this year. And I brought an extra bucket full of compost with me. I'm going to lay a fresh layer of compost down by the root ball here on my hydrangea just to help it. And also I'll feed it with, I don't even remember what I have, but a water soluble feeder, or you can do a slow release, granules, whatever. But it's a good idea to feed it in the spring. I probably should have already done it. I didn't yet, but I'm going to do it now. All right, I'm losing daylight, but there they are. Obviously, they'll both grow, but they're fairly compact hostas, I believe, because they've been in my yard for a long time. So, of course, they always get eaten. But I do have some of that same variety, whatever it is, on the side by my shed. So they don't get like nearly, well, I say they don't get as big as the Patriot, but if that is a Patriot, I have the same looking type ones over by the shed that are not nearly as big. We'll just find out what happens. But I think that looks so much better. This, gorgeous. Oh my gosh, it literally, I think it's my favorite. It's going to get split. I might wait till next year. Look at these beautiful heart-shaped leaves. Just 1 year of growth, and she looks gorgeous. I might need to spray her. I don't know if this is like wind or something did nibble on a leaf. This one's really pretty too. I couldn't remember what it was called earlier. It's a rainforest sunset. So anyways, I'm going to add some annuals in here. I'm in love with how this turned out so far, but here is the exciting news that I forgot to share with you the other day. So if you've been with me for a while, I don't even know what it was now. 2022 when I started doing the yard cleanup. We didn't know what this was. I was clearing out this bed. This is where I contracted poison ivy and found out I had poison ivy all over my yard. Had a horrible reaction, had to be put on steroids for 2 weeks. Anyways, we were just trying to clean up this bed, which was a flippin' mess. I'll try to link the video down in the description box if I can find it, or if I remember actually. And my husband cut this hydrangea all the way back. I knew nothing about plants at that time. I knew I had this. I didn't even know it was called a hosta. I literally knew nothing. We thought this was some type of a weed. He cut it all the way back. It started growing back the next year. I'm talking cut it down to the ground and just hadn't yet pulled the stump up. It started growing the next year. I scanned it on my plant identifier app, which I use for everything now since I know there's poison ivy back here. Found it was a hydrangea, said, OMG, do not touch that again. Didn't flower anything in 2023. Last year in 2024, I got maybe 5 buds and I think 2 flowers only. And I was like, I got to move this. I don't think it was getting enough sun. Well, we had 3 trees taken out over here. So I don't know if it's getting more sun now or just the fact that it's had enough time to establish after my husband nearly killed it. OMG, do you see all of these buds? Oh my gosh, I'm so dang excited. I believe these are new leaves coming. It's just putting on a tremendous amount of growth. I believe it's an Annabelle. I am so dang excited. They're all over. They're literally all over. I had 5 buds last year. I'm so excited. So I'm not moving her as long as she likes it here and if she's going to flower. So, all right. I'll be back a different day. Hang on. Just thought I would give you, let me zoom out there, the overview of where it's looking right now. So we have the 2 unknown hostas in the back. Big Daddy, some in substance, something in the sun. Dang it, now I forgot. Patriot, we're going to call it. Rainforest Sunset, Old Glory, my heuchera, and my 2 astilbe in here now. So I'm pretty happy with the placement of everything. Doesn't mean I won't have to move anything again because some in substance, holy crap, gets pretty big. Big Daddy will get big too, but I'll have to move those other hosta because Big Daddy has a stretch of 3 feet. Dang it, what is that one called? Moment in the Sun? Something in the Sun. I got the reason I didn't put tags in is because the ones I bought didn't have tags. They were on the buckets. I found the buckets. Let me see. Well, that's not it. It's over there. Anyways, it doesn't matter. I'll tell you in a minute when I come back. But I'm just going to put some color in here now. I mean, I think I have some beautiful color in here now. But we'll put some brighter color in here now and finish up the shade bed. I just went and got some of my more annuals for the shade garden. Kitty just popped out. Kitty, where'd you go? Oh, there you are. Hi. I didn't even recognize it was you. But I did, and I gave you a peanut. Here, now you get walnuts. Yes, your favorite walnuts. I'm going to leave you a pile of walnuts out here, okay? Yeah, we're doing work in the shade garden. You guard my flowers, and I'll keep you in supply of walnuts, okay, cutie? I'll leave them right down here on this rock. How's that? Don't really like this rock. All right, I bought some beautiful begonias. Last year I did impatiens. I thought I would try begonias this year. So I'm going to dig my holes. I kind of have them right down here for you, okay? Dig my holes and get these planted in the ground. Hopefully these will spread out because my impatiens definitely spread out and grew quite large in the areas of this bed that were getting a decent amount of morning sun. So I pretty much do the same thing with these. I leave all the root ball intact. I put them in the ground. I add a little bit of compost to help amend my soil, but I usually will water them in like this before also putting water after I cover it with all my clay soil. And any annuals that I have in the actual ground, I fertilize far less than I do the ones in pots and things because my soil has nutrients already. I mean, I've found lots and lots of worms, which is a good sign of nutrients in your soil. So I maybe will feed these once a month, maybe. My annuals I'm talking about. All right, now I'm going to do the finishing touches and lay out some fresh mulch because of my lower back issues I've been having. I carted it in the wheelbarrow, and then I did half of the bag just with a bucket and just kept dumping it before I lifted the other half of the bag and dumped it all. It was kind of time consuming, but that's all right. I didn't want to be carrying and lifting those big old heavy bags. Thank you so much for spending some time with me today. I hope it inspired you to get out in your garden and make something just a little bit more beautiful than it was. Let's take a look at what we started with, and then we'll take a look at the after. All right, so it was pretty much a mess, and I had to do a lot of cleanup and move things around, and now it looks so much better. All right, it is finished for now. There are a couple of things that I would still like to add. I bought a Brunnera last year. It died within like 2 days of me owning it. I didn't even repot it, so I don't know if Brunnera are picky or I just bought a new one, but I was thinking it would look good right in that spot right there. Hopefully these begonias will spread out the way the impatiens did, but time will tell. I did add a couple of things over here that I didn't tell you about. Well, first of all, I lost my astilbe. I don't know where it went. I have uncovered all of this mulch multiple times and I can't find it. It was so small. I guess if it's going to pop up, it'll pop up. I kind of am like I don't want to say at the point, but I don't want plants that are it's too high maintenance. They got to make it. So I guess if it's going to make it, it's going to make it. But I'll probably move one from the other area over there. But I did also buy with my birthday money, my birthday gift cards, I bought a Japanese painted fern. Oh my gosh, it's been on my porch for probably 2 weeks. And I kept forgetting to water it because I was thinking it was getting rain, but of course it wasn't getting rain. Oh, hi, Clarky. How are you? It wasn't getting rain because the porch was covering it, so it did not look too good, but hopefully it'll kind of bounce back a little bit. I think it is. So anyways, I have the fern, Old Glory, Rainforest Sunset, My Patriot, the 2 hostas that I took from the backyard and split. I also added a basket of fuchsia back there. I think that looks cute. And these hostas should have plenty of room to spread out and grow like I know they want to. And I think these begonias are just gorgeous. They are, just in case you're wondering, Himalayas begonia. I just got 2 different colors. That one and that one. So, and hopefully, my gorgeous hydrangea will just flower out this year and just look absolutely stunning. It'll add so much to this bed if she does flower. So that is how everything is looking. Super happy with this. I have more work to do in here, but for now, and like I said, these things are going to take time to grow. I think I saw this Old Glory in a neighbor's yard when I was on my walk today, and oh boy, it's going to get at least 2 to 3 times as big as this. So I'm super excited about that. So anyways, It was fun working in the garden. Next week, I think, I just looked at the weather. We're supposed to have some gorgeous weather. So I'll definitely be out here doing some more things. I want to get my garden beds kind of set up so that the plants will have a good month to grow.